GBS. Don't miss it.
Everywhere GBS.
Hello viewer, and thank you very much for joining us on The People Show today. Today on set we have a very special lady. Her name is Judy Muthoni. Judy Muthoni is a rally driver, I would say under mentorship still. But what's thrilling about her story, I was so excited that, a woman rally driver, and I was like, wait a minute, we have to listen to this story. So viewer, if you're just joining us, 21144 is the number. You can send us an SMS or you can drop us an email on info@gbskenya.com. So right now, let's get to hear from Judy. Karibu sana Judy.
Thank you so much.
Sasa, Judy Muthoni.
Yes.
Why rally?
Why rallying? For a very long time, I've been a thriller of speed and just the excitement of being in a very fast-moving car. And I think that's why I've always been interested in rallying. Yes.
Now, most of the time we say the things that people do in their childhood actually influence what they do when they grow up.
Yeah.
Would you mind sharing with us a little? Judy ni nani aligrow up? What did she do as a kid?
So Judy has been growing up and has always been growing up in Nakuru. So I've been born and grew up in Nakuru. My father and my mother raised us in Nakuru. My dad is a vet doctor and my mom is a nurse.
Oh.
Yes. So the story just moved to another direction. I went to school also in Nakuru, to different primary schools and high schools. So when I grew up, I've always had an interest to work with the community. And that's when I joined the campus, I decided to do environmental studies and community development. But now...
Environmental studies?
Yes.
And community development?
Yes.
All right.
But as I grew up, I'm a jack of all trades, and I think I'm just a person who has many interests and love doing different things. So I've been able to do business, I've been able to do entrepreneurship, and also given the opportunity now to join rallying. So when I joined rallying, the first time I encountered this was during a wedding. A very close family friend, his name is Laban Ontario. So during his wedding, the first cars that were coming in his accolades were a rally car.
Why a rally car?
Because he's been a participant in rallying, especially in the Nakuru sector. So when he came in, I think my interest just sparked up again.
When you saw the rally car?
Yes, I saw the rally car and my interest just sparked up and I was really excited. So funny enough, after the wedding, during the reception, seated around the same table were the same people who have been in his team during the rallying. So they were just called up to say hi and to just give their appreciation to Laban and his new wife. And after that, we just got time to interact and to just learn more about what rallying is. And that's when they connected me to a lady. Her name is Tuta. This year, she was given the award of Best Personality in Motorsport. And she has been having many victories around Africa. So got Tuta's number, asked her if she can mentor me or how I can get into rallying. She connected me to now the one who's mentoring me. His name is Abdul Sidi. Yes, and that's how I got into it.
Oh, that's so fast. I mean,
yeah.
During the break I asked, and maybe our viewers would be interested in knowing this.
Yeah.
For how long have you been driving? Like just normal driving, not rally driving?
I've been driving now for 2 years.
For 2 years?
Yes.
And you're confident enough to go with that?
Yes, yes, yes. I'm very confident.
So, nikiingia kwa gari ukinibeba ama inalingana ni...
Tukiingia, the first thing nitakwambia ni buckle up. Ndio, just in case I go beyond 100 kilometers per hour.
So hizi matraffic zinashika watu...
Tunaweza penya tu.
I don't want to say that because we'll be seen as if we're embracing breaking of the law. But maybe Judy, if you can just share with us, some people look at such things, whether it's a hobby, whether you do it for fun,
Yeah.
or whether you do it as a career.
Yeah.
People look at this sport as a fun sport, yes.
Yes.
To most people, watching is fun.
Yes.
But being in that vehicle is not really fun.
Yeah.
What do you make of it? Is it as dangerous as people think it is?
Well, rallying, first and foremost, it's the safest sport in the whole world.
What do you mean?
The type of regulations that have been put for it has been very strict, especially when it comes to equipment. Before you start even getting into it, you first have to have your car. When you buy your car, funny enough, it has to be broken down and put into now how it's supposed to be, as it has been specified.
So some special reinforcements and stuff like that?
Yes, they will put metal bars all around from the doors and at least above your head so that it can be stronger. And then also your seats. For example, if you're having your the seat belt, it's a 3-piece. So it has to come in between and just
in between
hold
the
you.
legs and
Yes.
hold you tight.
Yes, hold you tight and firmly. And then also how your car has been structured with the driver, because there's nobody else who can get into that car if it's not the driver alone.
Oh,
Yes, so it has to be put according to your specifics. So just in case of anything, it just fits you perfectly.
you.
Yes. And then from the gear, you find that you need to have a helmet. You cannot drive without a helmet. You need a full gear, a full body gear. You need gloves. And then also shoes, a specific shoes that you need to be having.
put on.
Yes, so that you can be protected fully.
In case of any impact or something.
Yes, just in case of any impact. And those are mandatory for you if you need to go into it. And above that, there is a license.
A license.
Yes, it's just a license for you that is going to cover your rallying.
How difficult is it to get that?
It is not difficult. The issue that we have been facing as rally drivers, I guess, it's the amount that is needed to be paid for that. Yes, because it's.
Would you mind naming the figures?
I wouldn't like to quote the wrong one, but let me just try.
Something that you know.
Let's say if it's internationally, because there's the international license that is going to help you to drive all over, and there's the national license. So I guess I can be corrected. The international license is around 50,000 Kenya shillings, and the national one might be ranging around 20 to 15. Yeah. So that's how strict it is. So that
Of duration of how long does the license? How long is it valid?
how I guess it's around 3 to 5 years.
3 to 5
Yeah,
years.
yeah, still stand to be corrected. So that's how long it's supposed to cover you. And even during the rallying, you find that amongst the charges that we are told to pay for is a rescue helicopter. So that just in case of anything, they are standby to just come and pull you out from the place where you are and take you to the safest place. Yeah. So rallying is not as dangerous as everybody thinks it is. It is very safe as long as you just know how to get yourself through the tracks. You are safe. Yes.
But also, as long as you adhere also to the regulations,
Yes.
safety regulations.
Yes, yes.
I would say it's dangerous because the safety regulations are so high. They're
Yeah.
not like for bikers or
Yes,
I've met some
yes.
bikers who do like this, high-speed biking. But having said that, women in rally, quite rare in Kenya, right?
Very rare. Yes.
Would you name them, or are they not really few? But
Well, right now, the only woman who stands to be very famous in rallying is Tuta. And Tuta has been rallying with her navigator called Eric, and they are doing perfectly. There are other ladies who are rising up, especially there's a rally called the TT. So the TT is just, let me give it a lugha mtaani. It's for now the hustlers. Yes, I guess some ladies have been coming up through it, and other ladies also who are being mentored like I am. Yes, so we are still rising. If close to more than 10, that's a good number.
within what you call the TT?
Yes, 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 yes.
And, there are challenges that come with this. And I only once saw, I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but in South Africa, the only that I've ever seen, I'm not saying it's the only, but then the only I've ever seen it where we have a driver and the navigator who are both ladies. Does it always come like that, or, I mean, most of the time I see women go hand in hand with men. Either the woman is a navigator or the woman is a driver, but then there always has to be a man there.
Yeah.
Is it an affair that can be only handled by ladies, or do you need a man at least?
There's a time I asked my mentor about it, and he said women are good bargainers.
All right.
Because another aspect of rallying that people never really know is the media side. Because you really need to have good media coverage throughout it. And you need people to post your photos and all that around the media, social media, so that, because it's not only you're driving, your sponsors are also driving the car. So for example, if KCB is sponsoring me, if Shell is sponsoring me, maybe Yana Tires are giving me the tires, I need to also find a way that they can also be advertised. So you find women have just an easy way of doing these things, and it becomes really
marketing.
Yes, easy for marketing. But it's enjoyable to try and drive also with a man, because you see, we are very good at instructions and concentration. Yeah, and men, funny enough, are very good at directions.
Just
yes, you just know if it's left, it's left. You know it's a slow wind. You just know. Yes, you're very good at directions. But also ladies are very good at all that. So if you're going to team up with somebody, we will not tell you look for a certain gender. We will tell you look for somebody you know you can work with. Because there are cases where people have been rallying together in the middle of the stages, and somebody walks out and is like, I can't do this anymore with you. Because it becomes really tensed.
And am I allowed to finish the rest of the stretch alone?
No. You came to, you have to finish too.
That's unfair.
No.
If I have, I mean, anyway, I'm just trying to make an argument. But when you look at the industry in Kenya, is it encouraging for women?
It's tough. It's really tough because, you know, it's been a male-dominated type of place. Especially, you know, since childhood, women have not been given the capacity to really be exposed to motorsport and to cars. You see, when mostly, now for example, our dad did not have any other choice. We are 3 girls at home. So if you'll have to go to the garage, you'll have to go with the girls. But if we had a choice, you'll have gone with the boy, you know, so that he can have the excitement to check the car engine, to check what is happening and just get excited. So I think that's one thing that exposed me to loving cars and speed, because my dad just had to expose us to that. I think yes. So I think because we already have a perception that since we were small, ladies are not exposed to cars, it also brings a very different perception when it comes to rallying. And we are all considered weak in every type of sector, wherever we go. So
you say you're the weaker being.
Yeah, we wouldn't survive in a car, we wouldn't survive in the storm, we wouldn't survive when it comes to the heat that heats up in the conversation in the car, or just being surrounded by men. We don't have the knowledge and all that, but we are rising. That's a good thing. We are rising, and it's getting better. Yeah, we're not yet there, but it's getting better. Yeah.
Now, you know, when we talk about rally driving, and when you look at the history of rally, are there other women that have been there that maybe you sometimes look up to, apart from your mentor now?
Yeah.
Actually, the lady who introduced you to the whole thing.
Yeah.
Are there other women that you look at, and maybe when you look into their lives, you see, wow, I want to be like that?
Yeah. Internationally, there is another lady. Right now, she's actually the head of the Federal International Automobile Group Association. We can say she has a really good story, because she has been in the rally sector from a long time ago, from the 1980s. Yes, for her to be now like the chairperson of the FIA, it means that she has to go through a lot. Yeah, and she really fought, because during those times it was really hard to be accommodated. And I think at the same time is when people were really embracing women in sports, not even motorsport alone, women in sports.
They are
And
still trying to campaign for that.
yeah, and she was really trying to reach up there. So she is my number one, then coming to tutor.
All right.
Yeah.
You say you have sisters?
Yes.
You're the older or the younger?
I'm the middle born. Yes, we're three of
What
us.
do your sisters think about you and Raleigh? Like, Carl, you just thought it's I mean.
Yes. First of all, even leave alone my sisters. My father was he was the most shocked person.
That you're going into Raleigh.
Yes, both of my parents. Because when we were in the same wedding with my dad, and I told him, you know what, I'm going to talk to these guys and I'm going to get away how to get into rallying. And he thought this is just one of those things that you just mentioned, just a thrill. And when I actually went ahead and got the number, starting January, when they're calling me, I'm like, I'm going for my classes. He's like, do you have classes on Saturdays again? I'm like, no, I have rally classes. And he was so shocked. Yes, he could not believe it. And after I did it, after I guess 2-3 months, that's when he was like, you're serious about it. And he'll start asking me questions. So when is the first gig? When are you doing this? And start asking questions. My mom was the one who was very hesitant. She was like, do you know it's a dangerous sport? Yes, you need to take care of yourself, especially when you go for such trips and all that. But my sisters were also shocked, but also thrilled. They're like, finally, we know somebody. Yeah, and excited. They don't want to join me. Yes, but they're just excited for me.
Was there any resistance at all from maybe any of your family members at first?
My mother.
All right.
My mom was
How serious was it?
It wasn't that serious. She was just, the first time she would talk me out of it. And she'll tell me, I don't think this is what exactly you want. Let's concentrate on something more. She will think it's very dangerous, especially now. Not at this point, I'm not allowed to get into a car. But she was telling me, maybe when you start go for the trips, it's a male-dominated area. So we would like to protect you at first. But after some time, after the 3rd month, she was easy with it. Because she's so persistent about it, and I really like it. So
she had to cross over to yourself?
Yeah, she just had to.
Do you think in this age and time, parents should decide for their kids what they should do?
Not at all.
Especially in, because this is almost like a hobby,
a
thrill, you would say. But then in future, it's something that grows and it becomes more intense and it becomes more involving and it takes up much of your time, and it will, I would say, if you want to go to the level of the lady you just mentioned, you would have to put in more effort and more work. What do you think society should do in terms of embracing such ideas, especially for women, because women are really bad from doing many things. That's very dangerous. What's your take on that?
Number one, I guess parents should really take time to learn their kids. And when a parent comes to a point where they have learned that this is what my kid really loves and this is what it keeps them going on, let me dedicate a lot to mentor this kid or find a way how this kid can grow in such an area. And I think we can really learn a lot from the outside world. Take China, for instance. China will look at this kid from when they are small, let them just engage with different type of mechanics, electronics and all that. And where the kid fits, that is where the parent will now keep on just drawing in resources until they grow into that place. And you'll find that we will be blessed enough to have amazing Chinese people who are coming with many resources as young as even 30 years old, 20 years old. Well, as at 20, that's when you're still in school trying to identify where we're going. And you'll find that they have really grown with this skill to the point at 20, that's when they're trying to perfect it, to the point they are trying now to look at innovative and other creative ways of bringing the same commodity to be better. So I think the society at this point should embrace what this child is capable of doing, expose them to such diverse worlds. Like, for example, when it comes to hobbies, we have been shown by different people that hobbies can really take people far.
Sure.
Look at Mariga in football. Look at
Yeah,
where he is right
football
now.
was a hobby.
In swimming, we have amazing people who are representing Kenya in the best way. In running also. And it proves to us that hobbies can really take us far.
Sure.
At this point, I guess the best thing, because I was looking today at, because I use mostly the outer ring road.
All right.
And you'll find somewhere like Kariobangi. We have great skills around that area. These people have been exposed to mechanics, to different types of engines and all that, and they have the ideas. But we know Kariobangi as a slum, and we are scared of going there, always bashing them with the words that they do steal these things. But what if we take the same people, put them in an institution, keep on giving them the resources and knowledge and the skills, and they will grow to a point where motorsport is not going to just be seen as an international thing, but bring it into Kenya.
Make it, nurture it locally.
Yes, where we can even make our own F1 cars, make our own motorsport cars, where we can even, when the FIA are saying that we have to follow their regulations, we tell them, when you want to come to Kenya, use this. You see, use our own regulation, use our own cars, use our own spares, to the point of now we grow even economically because we were able to empower such people with such interest and such skills. Yeah, so if it starts with a parent, and we are told the smallest unit of our society is the family.
Is the family, yes.
Start with the parent, the community adapts it. From the community, the nation grows. We impact people continentally, and from the continent now, globally.
Becomes something that becomes global, but it was homegrown.
Yeah.
But then, having said, you mentioned something very important.
Yeah.
About coming up with our own stuff that we can also sometimes ask the foreign bodies to come and adapt to what we have.
Yeah.
But then, isn't that a challenge? Because I remember watching news some time back, and there's this guy who made an helicopter.
Yeah.
And then the government says it's illegal to fly such a thing, and such a person is not actually allowed to even test the gadget.
Yeah.
Would you say that the government is encouraging development of local skills as per se?
Sadly, they have failed. They have really failed. And not only the helicopter, in Eldoret, a group of street kids came up with a car.
Oh.
The first car being built. Okay, I don't think if it's the first one, but it was an amazing car that can move, can properly function. But
with an engine and
with an engine, with the body, though it hasn't reached the Mercedes type of body, we are still, they showed interest, and they showed that this is what we can build. So the only thing they were asking the government is empower us, give us more skills, expose us to maybe other motorsport companies that can now help us refine this and get us there. Because what right now Kenya is being transformed into, we are being transformed into an export country. And we keep on, we keep on importing. We keep on importing to the point of we have those things that we need in Kenya. And that's why many people from outside will always come back to Africa and take the raw materials, take them back there, and we're given a finished product. How about this time we try and develop a way how we can now work with the
get the raw material.
Raw materials, finished, like get a finished product, give them, and we tell them it might not be yours, but it's ours.
Sure.
And if you want to come here, better embrace what we have.
Hold that thought. We're going to take a short break, but then when we come back, I would like us to engage more into how you start, how you juggle between your focusing on your rally and also the school. You told me you're going to graduate, and I want us to go a little bit back and look at how you're able to balance those. Viewer, if you're just joining us, you're watching The People Show. Today we have with us in studio Judy Muthoni. Judy Muthoni is a rally driver under mentorship, but then I think it's very interesting because how many rally drivers, female rally drivers, do you know? I think I can only name one in Kenya, Judy, sitting right here with me. For any comments, suggestions, or opinion, you can send that An SMS on 21144. 21144 is the number. You can also drop us an email on info@gbskenya.com. We take a short break now. We'll be right back.
Welcome viewers to Talk to Rosemary Njagi's show. The Bible says, seek ye the kingdom of God and his righteousness. Amen. Amen. Amen.
Oh my, have I provoked you? Then take action.
Different artists. Different choirs.
Rescue mission. Pump me with your Holy Spirit.
Different praise and worship. I tell you, this is a show where we bring the best of the best.
It's amazing.
Yes. And shalom.
Tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. At Thika Institute of Business Studies, we give you an opportunity to prepare for tomorrow through unrivaled courses enhanced with practical skills.
We will engage you both in class and out of class, and you shall come out a very different person.
We organize attachment for our students.
Wow, this is the place to be.
Thika Institute of Business Studies, the highway to future success.
Kulipa is now easy with EasyPay. When you shop at your local supermarket, fuel your car, dine out, book a flight, make other payments or pay your bills, you want simplicity, security and convenience. It's accepted everywhere you see the EasyPay sign. And it works with other mobile networks too. What's more, you can withdraw your cash at the supermarket till where you see the cashback logo. Get your Equitel line or download the Easy Banking app today because Kulipa is now easy with EasyPay.
Welcome to the African Cup of Nations.
Amen. Ivilas. Oh my word, what a goal!
The shots are going in.
Iwobi, yes!
Supersport is in. Join in and stay connected to DSTV for the Total Africa Cup of Nations. All 52 matches live and in HD on Supersport on DSTV.
Baba ki mama ne ka bueno te roca yoga ne oka chango jale ne oka chango taya. You are watching the People's Show in GBS. Don't miss it.
Everywhere, GBS.
Welcome back, viewer. If you're just joining us, you're watching the People Show here on GBS TV, where we give you viewing beyond the limit. Today, our guest is Judy Muthoni. I just like to call her a rally driver. And in the first half, she gave us this amazing story of how she got into rally and some of the, things she faced and learned in the process. But right before the break, Judy, we were talking about the kind of encouragement sometimes that people don't get from parents, and how society and even authorities, I would say government, doesn't really put a lot of effort in terms of supporting such. And you gave us this comparison of countries like China that will identify a small kid and their interest and just nurture that as they grow up. By the time they are 10 years, 15 years, they already know what they want to do, unlike our country. But then, Judy, as you do this, I believe at some point there's a time when kalenda ya shule na kalenda ya rally zilikutana.
Yes.
How was it, and how were you able to cope with that?
To be honest, Timothy, it's very hectic to try and follow your hobby. At the same time, you're trying to, pursue your other side of career.
Yes.
So when we started doing rallying, we just had classes on Saturday.
All right.
Saturday from 2 to 4 p.m., that's your time to do all these things. But what they don't tell you is that it's going to cost you a lot. Because now I have been studying in KU, living around Thika Road, but my classes are in South Sea. So that's transport cost on top of it. Apart from that, we were being charged 400, which is a very, trust me, that's a very fair subsidized.
400?
Yeah, 400
per
shilling.
session?
Yes, per
Okay.
session for a very, it's a subsidized fee for anybody who wants to get into rally.
Sure.
But at the same time, you are doing this every Saturday. In a month, you end up using 1600. But what you don't notice is that 1600 is coming up from your own pocket, because number one, my parents don't understand that I was being charged 400 shillings per session, because that will actually draw them far away.
Yeah,
They'll be like,
oh,
no,
that's an extra cost
yes.
now.
Now that's a dangerous place you're going into. It's either we cover your medical bill or now the 400 shillings.
Or in the event there's an accident, now you'll say you encourage them. Yeah, I
Yes.
get that, yeah.
So, but at the end of it all, I think it's just the passion that takes you there.
Sure.
And actually getting to learn from it. And you'll find in any other way that somebody else will want to sacrifice to get something else is the same thing that I'll do to try and get this other opportunity. And plus support from friends and loved ones,
Sure.
And the other drawback that I would actually face in between the time is that we will attend these classes. The first time we were two ladies.
All right.
The second time we're going there, I'm just the only lady. And you'll just
The
keep
other
on...
one bail out?
Yeah, the other one, okay, she didn't bail out. We're not sure, but maybe. So, but you'll find that after that, men will start giving you a different cue, like, why are you here? How comes you're here, And even when they're discussing their different things, at the same time, I'm here because of the interest of speed. So
Yes.
I don't know much about, like, deep within about a car.
Yes.
So I will get to learn about it. But at the same time, maybe they won't really consider, even in the conversations. And you'll have to do an extra thing, to get to learn. So even after that, when they have spoken, you just take somebody aside and be like, what did they mean by this? Or what happens when this? Tell me more about a car, so that you can really learn extra. So it's when men were working maybe with 10%, I had to do 50 so that I can get there. So that you can understand.
That's like extra work.
Yeah, extra work. So that you're not just seen as a weak person.
Sure.
At least you also know something. You also can bring something on the table. And that's what every woman is fighting outside there.
Sure.
And something else is, I really got a very funny experience when one day I actually approached somebody who has been doing marshals. And I asked him if he can mentor me or coach me through it so that I can also learn the inside part of a car. You know how exciting it is when you're driving, you get a car breaker, you just put it aside. When other people are expecting you to call a mechanic, you just draw out your tools and start changing the tire and all that. Yeah, and it's exciting because now you know something, you can handle your car.
Definitely.
But the type of response that I got was not really encouraging because what they said was, I don't think you can manage.
I don't think you can manage.
I don't think you can manage.
Why do they think that?
Because
you're a woman?
Yeah. I don't
Oh,
think
that's
you can
unfair.
manage, And you start asking yourself, did he say me or was he asking somebody
I'm here
else?
because I believe I can do.
Yeah, I'm here because I told you. I know I don't have what you expect me to have. And maybe I'll be the same person with another guy who also wants the same knowledge that you have, Just train me. If you don't think I can manage, let me try and show that I can do it. If you just give me the right skills and the right ways of how I can pass, I can still do it.
Show me.
Yeah, just show me. Just tell me, do this, do this, do this. I will be able to do the same thing you told me. I can still follow the same steps. Because I don't think women have a different brain from men. We might be told we use both hemisphere, but we still can get the same thing, and we still can do the same thing. So it's a matter of just giving a chance, you know, just show us, and we can also do that. I think one person who has really been supporting us was my mentor, Abdul Sidi.
All right.
He is one person who has been also encouraging ladies. The first time he saw me there, he was very excited.
So excited, yeah. Finally.
Yeah, it's like
he was
finally
waiting.
a woman, you know. We want to see people like that. And he told me the story of Tuta, how she also came and she also persevered through it, and she pushed, and she's now
So
best
Abdul is
personality.
the same person also who
yes,
mentored Tuta?
who mentored Tuta.
So he's been around for a long time then?
Abdul was the co-driver, the navigator to Patrick Njiru.
Oh,
yes.
That's nice.
Yes.
So you're being trained by a legend
himself.
navigator.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
I love that, legend navigator.
Yes.
I know Patrick.
Yeah. He's an amazing
He's a
guy.
friend, but for a long time, I've not seen him.
Yeah.
Yeah. From people like Patrick, what kind of motivation or inspiration do you draw?
Number one, you get, Patrick is a very cheerful person.
Ever smiling.
Yes, ever smiling, ever jovial, is just very excited.
Sure.
Patrick will teach you that even from the little that you have, you can still push and get it there, you know? And the stories that you get to hear about him and the rest that were there before us is that they did with the little that they had. Yes. Right now, with the regulations that were being given by Kenya Motorsport Association and the FIA, it needs you to really have a lot of money.
Sure.
So that you can get into motorsport. And I think that's one thing that is making people to get into the drag racing that you're seeing and causing accidents on Kenyan roads right now. But even with, they will even drive with a Toyota. You know, go and compete with a Toyota.
Yes, I remember Patrick's was Subaru Legacy.
Yes.
Impreza or Legacy? One
It
of the two. It was always Impreza
Legacy.
or
I guess Legacy.
yeah.
Yeah. And they will just get, without even the helmet, without the gears, without the many regulations, they will get to just drive their hobby. And at times, we're never paid for what we do.
Oh.
Yeah.
Even the competitions that you enter?
We rarely get paid.
Oh. So that's like purely sacrifice,
yes.
and you're just doing it for the love of the sport.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And after you finished all that, you just pack up and be like, it was a good
race.
It was a good race, and we had fun.
Wow. I mean, that's, but there's something also that always crosses my mind. Because when you talk about regulations, and this one, I would like also to peg it to some of the rising vices that are happening today in society, where we have young people, for the thrill of, the driving. I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to say, but some university students, you'll find them racing each other, maybe at night when the roads are clear and stuff like that. But then these are people who, if they are given, room to enter into such a sport, then instead of doing it at night, when some of them are drunk or high on drugs, then they will do it with a sober mind, and it will be constructive to them, and I would say save lives. What's your take on that?
I actually believe that we have the opportunities. It's just that we're never allowed to express them freely. Number one, I guess, where we are right now in the society is where we're trying to fight, the 21st century and the old century, So the 21st century will be like, these people don't listen to us.
So we're like in that transition
Yes, we are actually in that transition. Even it's actually been felt everywhere, even in the motorsport world. Because now here we are, the old age, let me call them the old age, they're trying to, the old school people, they're trying to actually find a way where it can be safe, That's a normal family. We're trying to make it safe. But on this other side, we are thrilled, but we just don't have the resources to get there. So because the old school wants to make it safe, and we want it to be more thrilling for us, but we just lack the resources, what will we do? We'll always bend and find our way.
Create like a subculture away from mainstream culture that is becoming difficult and rigid.
And that's why we'll look at the small loopholes that are there. You're like, at night, the police are not around. So let's do this. Which street? Let's just do like 10 kilometer stretch. Let's drive, you know? Or during the day, you're like, that road doesn't have any police person who's looking after it. So let's just do this race on Sunday at this time. Let's do this, you know? And that's where we are lacking, because number one, as young people, we don't want to look at the danger that comes with that, because we want to go on our own way with arrogance. But at the same time, the old school are not looking at, these guys have the potential and they have the thrill and they have the, and they have the strength and the energy. How about we just finance or we create resources that are available for them and they can get into that.
Or make some flexible rules.
Yeah.
To this extent, you can do this.
Yeah, you can do such a thing. And that's one thing that I guess Patrick Njiru and the likes used to enjoy, because they'll come.
The flexibility there.
Yeah, they'll come with even Toyota Splitters. They'll come with small cars and they'll just drive, and they'll do miles and miles of rally driving.
One time I was driving with Patrick, and you know, he came around and he had this nice Subaru car.
Yeah.
And then I asked him, have you ever raced with this one? But then he told me, Tim, zile za rally ni ndege. There's something you're mentioning about, you know, the reinforcement. Could you kindly maybe enlighten us a little bit on, you know, the kind of, you know, cushioning and fabrication that is done to this vehicle? And is it the same engine? Is it the same Subaru Impreza that we see on the road?
Yeah.
Is that the same engine, or it's a different engine?
Actually, it's very different, because instead of using the normal fuel that you're used to, we use a different type of fuel.
All right.
Yes, because now, and it makes the car very fast compared to the normal fuel. And also, the normal rally car cannot brace itself on a normal road. Yes, you cannot drive it. You will actually throw people off.
Sure.
Yeah. So some of the things that is done, as I said earlier, you have to tear it apart. Put different seats. We have to use the 3-cord seat belt. When it comes to the room space, especially for your co-driver, it has to fit perfectly for his legs, so that they have enough room space to relax.
What if I grow bigger?
Apparently by 23.
You stop growing.
Yeah. So enough that just in case of any impact, your legs can move behind, just to avoid any injuries that come in that. And then also have a lot of metal bars to reinforce the car. So just in case of any impact also, roll over, you put in a shell, you know. And then, what else am I forgetting?
You mentioned something about the shoes.
Yeah,
the
shoes.
What kind of shoes do they put?
I think there's a way you can just go and ask for the type of shoes that are there, because they are slightly heavy, they're more boot-like, so that it can also
I've seen
secure
some really
your feet.
like hard
Yes,
shoes.
some hard, yeah.
I was doing a story with some bikers sometimes, and I saw some really heavy
similar.
shoes.
Yeah, yeah. And then also you need gloves. When you're driving, it can get really tensed up, so you can grip really well. Yeah, you need to grip well, and then a helmet to prevent any injury when you get an impact. Yeah. So far, yeah, those ones. And also the seat belts, the reason why we really instruct that we get the 3-cord, it's because now it really holds you well in your seat. Yeah. So that
Not
even
the one strap.
No, the one strap will just throw you off, or the one that just comes, it will just throw you off the car. But with the 3-cord, it holds you firmly on the seat. Yeah. Yeah, and the engine is slightly different because of the fuel.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, our time is almost winding up, but then I would like to know from you, as a lady in this industry, like deep in your heart, honestly, would you encourage ladies to come into this sport?
Yes.
Why so?
Yes, I will. Number one, just because of gender sensitivity,
so that
I will really rally for ladies to be part of us. Because number one, I think ladies have a special, they just have a special skill wherever they go to. And you'll find that not only in marketing, as I said, that you're very good at, you'll find even we know how to perfect and put small details in even in motorsport. You'll find even in the rules. For example, maybe men enjoyed it being that rough, you know. I might say so that it can reach the ladies' specification. How about we can even add air ventilation because it gets really hot. Yeah, and suffocating. How about we try and get a way to just add the ventilation, you know? In maybe even to listen to people's concerns. We are much better to get their concern and get the deep thing. Why are they concerned about this? Let's try and look at it from another angle, you know. So ladies have just a special touch to everywhere that they go, and we tend to multiply. So you might find we might market it, and motorsport can be really big in Kenya.
And so they say, what a man can do, a woman can do it better. You believe ladies can be better rally drivers than men?
We cannot be better rally drivers than men, but we can be lady drivers. Yes, because now if we try and be better, then we just try and bring competition into it, and it may bring wrangles. Yeah. So what we can do is just be better lady rally drivers and learn from men also. Yeah. Work with them and get the best out of them. Yeah.
So as you're doing this, you know, as you're also encouraging yourself and encouraging other ladies, apart from Tuta, you call her Tuta?
Yeah.
Apart from Tuta, any other lady friend you know who is interested in rally and stuff, or you've not seen any around?
Not yet. I haven't met any other, but I'm so sure there are more, especially in the marshals, that work with her. Because what Tuta has been doing such an amazing work with our friend Fatma. Fatma and the husband own a garage. So one thing that they've been trying to do to expose the lady into maybe more of the car, they have been having some cleanups. So what they do, they rally some ladies, get them with their cars, they're taken there, they're given some classes on just basic things to know about a car. What if this happens, what are you supposed to do? And it really helps ladies to get some skills on a car also, because now cars have become fundamental needs in our lives, because we need to move, maybe to just get to the supermarket at times, maybe for long business trips and all that. So it has become something that also ladies are taking up. Yeah. So what I can encourage ladies, if not in motorsport, if you don't like speed and thrill as I do, maybe just take the concern and the step to learn more about your car, you know. Just one day open the bonnet and decide, chokora tuache yaribike, wakikuja kufix, come and watch them as they fix. Because I think that's one thing that I learned some words like carburetor, and does it make sense to another lady?
Those were terms that were...
Yeah, that were very concerning. Yeah.
During some years.
Yeah.
How well does Judy know her car engine today?
I will give myself a 6.
A scale of 1 to 10?
Yes, a scale of 1 to 10, I'll give myself a 6. All because of my dad. Yeah, he used to take us to very boring garage rides, and his cars will just break down, and we'll just have to be there to watch. And you'll cry there, I want to go and just eat chips. But you'll be like, stay here, you know, you need to learn. Yeah, yeah.
Now, in the process, Judy anajiona wapi miaka 2 inayokuja, like in 2 years time? What's your vision? What do you really, you know, in terms of rally, what really is that passion that burns in you, and you say, in 2 years time, 5 years time, this is where I want to be, and this is what I have set for myself to achieve?
Yeah. Maybe in 2 years time, I'll really want to have a team of maybe, like possibly, if I don't think I have the right bank account to start rallying fully, but just get into a team. get to have learned fully now the engine of a car, you know, have learned to change different things within the car. In 2 years' time, I hope I'll have really advocated well the need of Kenya looking at its local gold. And when I say the gold is now the raw material and the skills that people already have, advocate that rightly to the government and even to international organizations and agencies that can really help to build this in Kenya. Yeah, and in 2 years, probably start now having a really good framework of creating a nice rally track. You know, if it's an F1 formula track in Kenya, like if we can just start at that angle in 2 years, hopefully. Yes.
Maybe a small girl is watching you at home and she's like, what? That girl is a rally driver? What would you tell them?
I'll tell her, if it's in you, please don't let that light switch off. Let it be like a fire. Add firewood, add charcoal, add more fuel, to the point that it burns right in you to know that this is what I want to do. Because I guess in my lifetime, there are times I would not have the real self-confidence, and I'll pull back and be like, I don't think I can do that. And that's why the day that I had that person ask me, do you think that you will do that?
Well, that was like fire.
Yeah, it just now burnt within me, and I was like, I can do that. So if you know that you want to do something, it might not be rallying itself. It might be something else. If it's within you, just add fire. Just add fire. You might not get the right support because they might think you're crazy enough, or it's just another thing, another passing wind. But hold on to it. Learn from people. Ask questions. It's good to ask. Keep on looking into it in the internet, because right now we are based with internet, and we can get the information we need. You know, expose yourself. If you have the opportunity, go and visit different places where you can get such information. Meet up with these people. Let them give you stories. Let them tell you the dangers that it has with, and they encourage you. You know what? I came out of it, and now here I am.
So get the pros and the cons.
Yes.
To the haters, the stereotypes.
To the haters, we still love you.
You're so generous. You love your haters.
Yeah, we have to. You know? But know that nothing can stop us. If our minds are set that this is where we want to be, you cannot stop us. We cannot decide that because it's not a woman thing, maybe let me try and be man enough to do it, you know? If the woo has an issue, let it just be a man. No, we will do it in a woman style. If it's coming on the track with a pink car, we will gladly do it in a very jovial way.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Our time is up. Thank you, Judy. Thank you very much.
Thank you too.
For coming and shedding that light, of course, and also sharing with us your story, your experience, and for encouraging. I think I almost feel like I'm feminine.
Welcome to
Well, viewer, we have come to the end of our program today. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Because of time, we have to bring this to an end, but I would really love to hear more and more from Judy and discuss this much more. Judy, I hope when you go for a gig, please just holler at me and let me come.
I will.
Or one day when you feel like you want to spoil yourself, just give me a call and then I come see how you do the driving.
Thank you.
Viewer, we have come to the end of our program today. Thank you very much for joining us. If you have any comments, suggestions, or opinion, you can send that to our email address, info@gbskenya.com. You can also drop us a text on 21144. Until next time, thank you very much for joining us. I've been your host, Timothy Omondi. It's bye-bye for now.